this is actually... I don't know what this is supposed to be used for cutting, but this is what I'm using for plastic. Hopefully it's okay. I have a wood cutting blade, but it has these serrated edges that cut in a lot, and I'm kind of worried about using that on plastic, especially with my hands so close to it. I don't want the kickback to be that severe, so this isn't too bad. It's a smoother edge, so it's easier to control, I think. I know there is a blade specifically supposed to be used for plastic, but I do not have it. So, oops, there we go. I don't think this one will be seen, but doing it anyways. Oh, nope, don't eat that. Give me that. He's laying underneath my table, so anything that hits the floor is the dog's, apparently, including plastic. This stuff is flying. I'll leave that little piece there. Start moving some things aside. I don't want to do that while I have that thing running. Okay, so this needs to be cut. You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. Most of these are fine, it's just these little bits. Oh, it actually looks like this is the last one. Cool. Okay, and that's it. Now we get to go through and sand, do lots of sanding. Little joints. Okay, so I'm gonna unplug this just for safety's sake. Last thing I need is to lose a limb, ironically. I'm using my smoother grit sander just because I don't like how much bite the rougher grit takes out of the plastic. So I'll do that. But before I do that, I'm gonna eat another apple. Alright, I'm back. Hello, hello! Progress is going well. I have been taking apart a skeleton and trying to get all these pieces cut. But hi, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna go back and sand all these little fiddly bits now with this. And hopefully this is not too loud. Just finished a dye job on a big pile of fabric. Fun snatting ASMR, yes. Sanding is actually pretty nice, very satisfying. Unfortunately, this piece itself is kind of weird. I might have to go back and do this with sandpaper, but dye job. Dyeing always scares me in multiple ways. But no, dyeing fabric, I don't have much experience with it. I've only done it a couple times, and it's just so scary to me because once you dye it, I mean, that's pretty much it. You got what you got. But that's pretty cool. Are you a seamstress or... I don't like saying sewer because it's like spelling wise it just looks like sewer. But do you enjoy sewing or do you just like to dye fabric? If you don't mind my million questions. Sewist is how I say it. Yeah, okay. Or sewist. I am good at English. Do you like to cosplay or do you just like to sew? Just decided 2 days ago to throw in my hat and try. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. I am so excited. I love meeting new people who are going for the contest. Yeah, I decided a couple days ago that I was going to try and tackle this monster, so I totally feel you. But oh, that's awesome! What are you planning to enter with, if you don't mind my asking? From Discworld. Oh, I am not familiar at all. I will have to look that up. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the people who are entering this year, and it is incredibly overwhelming. And I can see my chances of making it diminish a little bit each day, but honestly, it's like the amount of talent on here is insane. And I am so excited to see how this goes. 2018, Sir Robin, Monty Python. Oh! Oh, that's so cool! I was gonna say, it sounds familiar, but I don't know the source material. It's like, I think that's how it goes for a lot of pop culture and cosplay in general. It's like you've heard of things because of cosplay, but you don't always know them. That's me with a lot of things. The real key is the motivation to complete a project, at least for me. Yes, definitely. I think that's why I'm so invested in this and trying something so complex, is because I feel the pressure. Like whenever I'm streaming, it's like, oh no, you can't stop. You have to keep going. You're streaming. People are watching you. Even whenever there's no one in there, it's like someone could come in and they'll be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? For sure, it doesn't help that everything I do is from like 50 years ago. Oh, I feel that. Exactly. Okay, so you get it too. It's like the pressure is there more than like posting on Instagram or Facebook, like your progress. It's like, oh yeah, progress, I can do that anytime. But it's like my friends convinced me to make a schedule yesterday, so I'm going to try and stick to that schedule, and that's going to force me to stick to this cosplay and get it done instead of procrastinating like I normally do. Of sitting and looking at your phone instead of sewing. Yeah, oh my gosh. It's such a problem though. It's like you see one thing and it's just a downhill battle from there. It's like, but I just want to watch one more sewing video. Just one more sewing video. Or hey, maybe I need to look at the reference one more time. 3 weeks is plenty of time. It's like you think it is, and then suddenly it's like a week before and you still have nothing done, and you're like, oh, well, that's nice. I have done that many a time. Goes and watches entire reference movie. Exactly. That's why I did a game this time instead of a movie, because I'm like, no, I can't sit and watch this reference. I can't do it. Because I was originally making Violet Evergarden from the anime, and I was just like, I just want to watch it. I just want to watch the show and not work on anything, and that's the problem. It's like, especially whenever there's subtitles, you absolutely get nothing done. It's like going from the video to the subtitles is hard enough, but whenever you add in something you're supposed to be doing, nope, it just doesn't happen. Personally, it's not a passion project, I just can't. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what happened with me. I was losing the passion for Violet. I'm like, I'm so used to doing sewing, I kind of want to add a little bit more difficulty, because of course I did on a deadline like this. So that's why I picked up this one. It's been on my list for a while, but no, I totally understand. It's like, if the passion isn't in there, I can't do it. That's why I could never do commissions. I'm like, nope, I am not interested in the least. I like you. You get me. I get you. I haven't had to use a Dremel in so long. I mostly do sewing. I'm not used to doing a lot of prop work, so this is definitely a challenge in many ways. So many half-finished projects because of that. Yes! I feel you. I have one that's currently sitting in my closet that's just crying for attention. Like, please, please. And I'm so close to getting her finished too, but that's the best part about a deadline costume though, like this and like yours. It's like, oh, you have to have it done by then. There is no stopping, there is no pausing. It's like, you have a deadline, you can't just drop it. There we go. I'm not sure how much of this to round. Just winging it. Okay, this gives me motivation, and the worst happens is you say no to me, which is... Exactly. That is such a good mindset to have, especially for this. It's like, there is nothing bad is going to come out of doing this. Really, there isn't. I'm glad that they have like a round before the final round, just so you can be like, oh, okay, well, at least I can get this done by this time, instead of waiting until right before the convention and then figuring out you have to cancel, just in case something goes wrong. I just wish the deadline wasn't so early. It's very, very early for a deadline. But it'll be alright. We'll struggle. They know that we're going to procrastinate anyways. It's like, I know most of this isn't going to be seen, but it's like the little bits that aren't seen but still have work into them are kind of what makes the costume for me. Me personally, at least, so gotta keep trying. My dog is sneezing at me. He's like, "You're not paying enough attention to me, mother." I'm sorry, boy. You're not procrastinating by watching me, are you? You are working, right? I hope so. It got a little messy around the spine area. It's hard to get in here with the Dremel. That's alright. This is all going to be weathered anyways, so hopefully you won't be able to see these. Okay. The rest of it looks pretty good. Slowly but surely. Get these fiddly bits off. This is definitely the hardest area to sand. I think because it's such a thick area of plastic. Hi, buddy. Sorry, I'm getting plastic bits all over you. Well, oh no, don't put your head in the plastic. Oh, again. Nope, back off. Back, 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 back. Back, back, back. Go on. He wants to be right in the middle of everything. Came back. Procrastinating fabric is washed. Ah, gotcha. A puppy. Yep, little pup. I have a really bad habit of not washing my fabric before I work on it. But, yep. Gotta big old puppy. He is 1.5? I believe he's 1.5. Or 2.5? That's sad. I should know that. But he's just a big baby. He is a standard poodle. Do you have any pets? Any pets that get on your fabric and get in your way whenever you're trying to work? Cats, they love to put fur on my fabric, especially when it's a huge piece I have to lay out on the floor. Oh my goodness, yep. Love our pets, but also like y'all. Oh, thank you so much for following. I appreciate it. You are a sweetheart. But yeah, no, we love them, but also they kind of get in the way occasionally. Let's see. Try and keep these piles separate. Oh, he hears something. What you hearing, boy? I don't know. I'm gonna skip this one. It's weird sounds. It's making me feel weird. There we go. Still gonna do the waist down part as a dress ball gown style. Yes. If you check out my Instagram, I have a picture of the hoop skirt up. It's kind of gonna be like that. Originally, I had it around the actual waist area, but looking more at the pictures, like the reference pictures, I was like, that's not the waist. He doesn't have a weird shaped torso. It's actually around the hips, and he's just freakishly tall. And I had a moment there. I was not proud. I just kind of like sat in my chair and I was like, this is the worst thing that could happen because I had everything planned out. It all looked so great. And then I looked at more reference pictures and my life just crumbled a little. But I sat down, I got it worked out. So yeah, that's gonna be like that. And I'm gonna try and see if I can build an extra support system for this section hanging off here. It's gonna trail behind him, hopefully. It depends on how well I can get it to work, but that's the goal at least. So yeah, hopefully. Unfortunately, it's like a lot of the sewing right now I can't do on stream. I'm trying to get things fitted, um, and I can't really film fitting process just because that involves tight fitting clothes and I am very uncomfortable with that. Oh, I hope it works out too. I think it will. I need to have more faith in myself. I think I've engineered it well enough that it'll work. But if not, I will find another way. Yeah, I hear that. Yup. I need to figure out if I can make a little jig to set this up in. I'm used to having like a stable sanding thingy and just moving around that. So I might do that after this is all done. Finish the cup and make the tool that would. You're not wrong. I've told myself continuously I need to make like a little hot knife to cut EVA foam with just to make my life easier. And I just keep putting it off because I'm like, no, I don't need it right now. And then it comes time to need it and it's just not happened. I procrastinate on the worst things. Yeah, no, same. I am atrocious when it comes to foam. It's like for me, I can make fabric do whatever I need it to do, but foam is an entirely different monster. That's why I'm really, really glad the way TwitchCon has everything sectioned out. So it's like you have special effects, you have fabric, you have armor, and then you have like the big, big category. It helps a lot because I may be really good with fabric, but I'm not so great with foam, and I don't want it to be, you know. And it's like a lot of times I notice with, hopefully by focusing on needlework, I am crossing my fingers for you. I think you can do it. Like I've not seen you work, but I think you're determined enough to get it done. But I know a lot of times, especially from the crowd, it's like armor always seems to be the big standout. Everyone's like, ooh, that looks so cool. And it's like, you don't really see the intricacies of sewing from the crowd. You can see it up close sometimes, but from the crowd, it's a little bit more difficult. And I assume it's the same for armor. It's like, to me, it looks easy, even though I know and I have done it, and it looks easy, but it's actually incredibly difficult. I also have a good... Yeah. That is so, so important to have judges who know what they're talking about. It's like if you have an entire panel of seamstresses and then you have a bunch of armor entries, it's like, it's not gonna go very well. But they do a pretty good job, I think. But no, I wish more conventions would do that kind of separation. But I also know that TwitchCon doesn't separate into master, novice, intermediate. I don't think they do, at least. So I kind of understand that. It's like it's a lot of categories to break up and a lot of awards to give out, so I do get it in that aspect. But definitely whenever a convention chooses their judges, I feel like they should have someone from each kind of crafting section, I guess. Like, God knows I could never do special effects. I can barely do my own makeup. Have you been streaming for a long time? Or is this a relatively new thing for you? Because I know I am brand new to this. I streamed a few years back, but I streamed curlers. So, well, this thingy, all the colorful beads behind the bones. That's what I used to stream. I didn't really stream any sewing. So this is kind of a new ball game for me. Contest stopped until 2 days ago. I feel that. It's like there's so many new features nowadays that were definitely not a thing back then. So I absolutely feel you. Just, but again, buddy, get away. He's trying to eat my food. Find someone to put these. I have apples to snack on. But yeah, there's a lot of new elements that I still have no idea how to use. It's magic to me, but there we go. It's like I tried watching some streams for inspiration, and it's just like 500 different aspects that I absolutely cannot grasp in the least. Two cameras and that's advanced. Yes, exactly. It's like I started adding a second camera and then I'm like, absolutely not. I want nobody to see my face right now. It's like I had it whenever I was doing draping, where I had to switch back and forth between my sewing machine and my big mannequin, but right now I just have this, so I'm very happy to stick with one camera and keep it simple. It's basically just my background worked on knitting. Yep, it do be like that. It's like I think it just comes with experience. Like I want everything to be perfect right away, but I know it's not going to be. And that's a hard thing to like understand, I guess. It's like, no, I want it to be right the first time, but sometimes it can't be. I self-bonus my camera back in 2019. Yep. Hey, if it works, it works. Ah, again. My dog is a bit dumb. He likes to run into my cords and kind of yank me around a little bit. I don't have good cord control, so mine are a little bit wonky. Hopefully the sound is not too torturous to your ears. My microphone isn't that great at picking up noises other than my voice. At least not like obsessively loudly. But it will pick things up occasionally, so hopefully that's not too bad. It's all good? Alright. Thank you. Another one of those things I'm not really sure about. Let's see. I think that was actually the last thing I had to sand. Oof, I am covered in dust. Gotta make sure I vacuum after this. Alright. Just gonna move this over here. Hi, buddy. He's just looking at me now. Alright, that can go up there. Let's take a look. I'm not going to be too picky. Most of this is not going to be seen at all, honestly. I know the rib cages will, but most of it's kind of going to be hidden behind a bunch of fabric and kind of in the folds of the fabric, so it's kind of a moot point, but I feel better doing it anyways. To do next. So actually, we'll see it. No, it's exactly. It's like even if no one else sees it, I see it. I know it's there, and I care about it, and I'm proud of it. So, let's try it. This is my flaws, my work day. No one else does. It's how it goes. That is absolutely true. It's like, oh, I could have done this better, that better. I think these are actually not really dry. Oh. I would think they'd be dry by now, but I guess not. Oh, I'm covered in dust. Alright. Go ahead and grab these guys. Oops. Super Pro, Super Pro. Yeah, most of them. Okay. Yeah. They look like they're mostly dry. Brush this dust off of you real fast. Yeah, they do look like Cheetos, I know. Last night, I was told they looked like uncheesed cheese puffs, so that's what we're going with. Uncheesed cheese puffs. And that led to a whole discussion about Cheetos and how hungry I was, and then I ended up grabbing some Cheetos during a break. It's a whole problem. Brush it off. Okay. Okay. Yes, they are supposed to be maggots. They don't quite look like it yet. I'm about to start painting them now. And hopefully they'll look a little bit better. I'm not sure if they will, but we will see. Actually, I'm probably going to use my little cups. Let's shake it up. actually know how this is gonna go, so I'm trying to find the right paintbrush to use for this. Yeah, let's go with this one. I am very much not an artist, if you can't tell. Let's see. I'm gonna add a smidge of water to this. Let's see if that helps them. I know it'll take longer for them to dry this way, but I don't want the paint to be too concentrated. I still might need to... Oh wait, I have an idea. First off, let's do like that. And then I think I tossed all my samples. Yes, right here. So yeah, so that wouldn't look as good, like just painting it directly on there. But if I use this dabbed, oh no, that definitely doesn't look right. Okay, so maybe I should just paint it directly on there. Decent from a distance. Like up close they don't have to look perfect. I know this is another one of those things that's not going to be seen by anyone but me, but I think they look pretty alright from a distance. Because originally what I was going to do is I was going to basically make just a dye bath and soak some acrylic paint in water, but seeing as how these don't absorb anything since it's just plastic foam, not really a good idea. It would never dry. So instead, I'm just gonna do it like this. And then I can draw the little stripies on it later. Look good? Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad someone does. I hope they turn out okay. I hope so. I had to look at way too many maggots, and I regret everything. Yeah, I like that better. The fade. See. Okay, yeah, no, that looks good. I will stick with that. Perfect. Okay. I will probably put these on, because I managed to dye my fingers earlier with the spray dye. And I don't want to go through that process again, so that was a lot of scrubbing. So definitely pretty thick up here, and then kind of just taper it out. Doing all of them. Where's that? Probably gonna use all of them. I actually probably need to make more, but I'm not looking for super continuity, so I'm not worried about doing them all at the same time. But yeah, no, I'm probably gonna need more than this, if I'm being honest. Because, like, I think the maggots really only show up in one reference image, but of course me, I'm like, well, if it's in one, it's in all. Which of course is not how reference images work, as I have noticed from that stupid dress. Let's see. concentrate it here, and then kind of move it back. Oh yeah, those will look fine. Cool. I was actually surprised. I had quite a few methods that I was gonna try to color these to make them look, you know, gross looking. And the first one I tried actually worked. It was this spray dye right here. I had to keep refilling it with like water and different colors of brown, but it ended up working. It's like a distress spray for ink. You're supposed to use it on paper, I think, but whatever works. I am gonna finish, or put the finished ones in here though. So where's my paper towels? Okay. Gonna run some dark mode, good luck. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you stopping by. I'll be sure to look up your cosplay later so I can see what's going on. I am very nosy, so. But thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you. Hi again. I know you're getting curious. I think this acrylic paint will dry better than the ink spray, which that'll be good. And luckily this is going up against a black fabric, so it won't bleed, hopefully, as much. I have lots of hopes. And I hope they'll turn out okay. Let's see. A little bit extra up here. Go ahead and cut this because that's just a little funky looking. Looks kind of good. Ooh, I might end up doing that instead. Of course, I find the best methods on accident. Well, maybe. I still like the painting more. That, however, does need to be a tad bit darker, so let's add some paint from up here, back here. gloves look gross on camera. Nice. No complaints, but yikes. So let's try without the paintbrush. Let's do one completely with no paintbrush. Just kind of squish the paint in there instead. You know, I actually kind of like how that looks better. Let's do a smidge down here. There we go. Yeah, no, I definitely like how that looks more. Plus it's a little bit easier to get that blend, which is nice. There we go. If it ends up looking too blonde, I'll probably go back with a paintbrush later, but for now I kind of like how it looks. Just kind of blend by squishing the paint around. Yep, finding the best methods on accident is always fun. Let's see, go like squish, 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 squish. Definitely glad I wore gloves now. Yeah. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I'm happy. I should not be excited over maggots, but here we are. Cool. Alright, the big boys. I'm not sure how I feel about these bigger ones. I might end up tossing them out. It's like I feel like the little ones just have more impact, but there are a lot of bigger ones on the reference images, so I'm not entirely sure what I should do. I think I'll just do the mixture and just leave them all in there. Let's see. Just kind of pinch the paint around. This is definitely better than painting. Like using a paintbrush instead. It's like a little bit more organic looking, I guess. Probably end up using a more watered down version of this to draw the little stripes. Yes, oh, I'm so happy with how this looks. God bless. Alright. I just hope this dries the way I think it is. I believe it will because it's acrylic paint and it kind of it's tried and true, it just dries on its own. But I know this ink did not, yeah, dye my fingers. It did not dry the way I had hoped. Let me go ahead and put, oh wait, no I can't. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, it's alright, I'll just scrub with these fingers later. Hopefully get this ink out. I should be able to. Is definitely a good way to blend actually, which is unexpected. There we go. Smear paint like the way the little ones look especially, but I think I'm just partial because the little ones are cuter to me. I mean, none of these are cute, let's be clear, because they're maggots, but... yeah, I like it a little bit more faded at the end there, because most of the color on real maggots is at the head. It's not really at the base as much. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I am way happier with these than I thought I would be. So I was kind of worried about painting. Painting is not my forte, especially in cosplay. So I was kind of worried about how these would come out, but this is actually looking pretty good. So I'm satisfied. Let me snip this down a little bit. Let's get the dye off my fingers first. Let's see. A little snip here. A little snip there. There we go. Way more concentrated up at the head. Trying to keep this from sliding too much. I'm not a big fan of gloves, but I'm also not a big fan of having my fingers the wrong color. I'm always worried I'm gonna put it on other things, like my clothes. But, I mean, this kind of is inevitable. Although, you know what? Let's just go ahead and put these on. And let's see if I can do it with just these other ones. Not the paint fingers. Because I don't feel like wasting more gloves. I only have a few, and I definitely should be getting more. But I never really need them for anything. Ha. Cool. Much better, much better. Okay. That does mean I can't eat my apples now, but that's alright. Let's see if I can grab some of this paint. Made it a little bit too concentrated up there at the front, I think. That's alright. Set you aside. Squish, squish, squish. It's actually very satisfying to squish these, so it's kind of nice. The whole process of painting, quote unquote. Yeah, there we go. Much better. And thankfully, because this is acrylic paint, it does not bleed as much as the ink does. I think this is the smallest one that I made. I might go back and make a few more this size, just because I need some filler areas. But most of them are pretty big in the reference image. Go back and trim these up if I need to. That's the good thing about this, is that whenever I squish it like this, it kind of gets all the way through the foam, so I don't have to worry about the layers as much. Let's go ahead and do that actually. Yeah, so that pretty much just went all the way through there and I don't have to do too much. Oh, that's nice. Alright. less heavy-handed at the ends. So most of the pigment should be at the fronts, but much better. It's like I was supposed to stop at 9, but I'm kind of just enjoying myself at this point. So I'm gonna keep going. Plus, I kind of want to get all of these painted before stopping. Yeah. Gross little maggots. My uncheesed cheese puffs. Look less like white cheddar cheese puffs, and now they just look gross, which I'm kind of happy about, honestly. These are turning out much better than I imagined they would.